Hello, good morning, happy Wednesday. We are continuing our gist day from yesterday. We are getting a lot of stuff done, but we are also going to really focus on goals for today. I always like to take some time to reflect on the year that happened before I start setting goals for the new year. I think if you're just sitting down to set goals, it's so easy to fall into that like aspirational trap of just like, what do I want it to be like? What do I want to do? And then you end up not actually completing your goals because either they weren't that important to you, they were just something that sounded nice, or it's something that it was just too far beyond your scope. It was never realistic, it was never practical. So I always really like to reflect on the year before I set goals for the new year. And we are getting near the end of the year, the end of the month, so it's about time to kick it into gear. So let's go do a couple of productive things. Let's do our Advent, and then, sorry, that construction is insane. I think they're also getting ready for the end of the year. And then also, we do have the Christmas lunch at my work around 12 o'clock. So the agenda for today: get things done, do Advent, go to the Christmas party, reflect on the last year. Let's go. JHO tickets are literally the white whale. It doesn't matter how long you chase it, you will never catch it. It's finally time to get out my winter coat. I think it's officially cold enough. Every time I do this as well, I try to choose one thing to donate. Don't think I want this anymore. When I touched it and as soon as I saw it, I just thought about 2022 and lockdown. We don't want those memories. I do also need to make a grocery order, and then it's not exactly groceries. They're just supplies. Like, we need more cat food and we need more cat litter, things like that. Hi. Did you hear me talking about you? So I'm going to place an order for that right now. Eehee, that's expensive. And then I also need to make a grocery order. I was going to do it last night, but like half the things were sold out because it was at night. So let me do it now while it's the morning. I think I'll have better luck. Star fruit was on sale, so I got that because I haven't had that in forever. And also the carrots were free. I really love this app so much. Every time you order, they give you one item for free. The groceries should arrive in 30 minutes, and then all of the other things that I ordered, like the cat food, will arrive either tonight or tomorrow. Let's go to Advent. Let's see what our Advent has in store for us today. Now, if you're wondering, like, who are you? What are you doing? Why are you just like having this little semi-productive day but not actually going to work? Let me explain. I'm an ESL teacher at a university in China, and at my school, usually we have one day a week where we don't have classes, and it's generally considered like your lesson planning prep day. Today though, we do have a Christmas lunch, like all staff Christmas lunch that I will go to. But I worked really hard yesterday to get a lot of things done so that I could kind of relax again today. It is the end of the semester, so there are just not that many things to do regarding lesson planning. All my lesson planning is done. All the lessons have finished. The only thing I have to do is grading, and I can only grade as much as comes in. And so I did a lot of work on that yesterday, which means I can take today to just kind of focus on myself. I also am getting my PhD in education, but thankfully my class finished last Friday, I believe it was. So I have a small break until the new year when classes start up again. That's the lowdown. Anyway, okay, day 18 of Advent says, how perfect is this? It keeps happening that I pull up the perfect thing for the perfect day. It says, write a Christmas letter. You know, like the Christmas letter that people send out to summarize their year? That's what we're doing today. Perfect. Also want to open a new tea as well. This is my TWG Advent calendar that my husband got me, which was just so sweet. There are only 12 days, so I haven't been doing one every day because I want to make it last until Christmas. I really just choose it when I have enough time to like sit and actually drink the tea. Quick summary, I already got a blueberry caramel one, a clove one, white tea and cinnamon one. Just got a white tea, green tea blend with lemon added. So let's see what number 5 is. This one is Shanghai. That one's so cute. I'm glad we finally have a green one, Because not gonna lie, these ones are not that Christmas. I mean, orange is not the most Christmassy of colors. Okay, let me read what it says, and then I'm gonna open it. Few cities evoke so much glamour and mystique than this metropolis, Shanghai, transformed by the brisk wintry air of December into a magical land. Is it? Ooh, rich chocolatey notes of sweetness dot the traditional green tea, contrasted by popped rice, spicy ginger, sweet almond, winter spices, and gentle mandarin orange. We've got a lot going on. It doesn't smell like much, but it looks really interesting. There's actual little pieces of rice in this. That's, well, let's try it. Let's see what happens. Let's try it. Green tea is always a little bit light, but at least it's not as light as white tea. While the tea is steeping, I wanted to talk a little bit about my plan for reflecting on the new year. I'm just gonna go online and find some year in review type questions. I'll like screenshot them or write them down, because after our Christmas lunch, I want to go to a coffee shop and just take my journal and kind of journal through the year, journal through what I'm thinking of. I can write the Christmas letter for the Advent. I also really want to think more about what I want my main focus for the year to be. I'm the kind of person who sets 80,000 goals. If I don't have like an overarching theme, I find I really struggle with keeping focused and keeping motivated. I generally also like to choose 3 main goals out of all the goals that I have. So last year, my main goals were to plan the wedding, start content creation. So at the end of the year, if I didn't do anything else but those 2 things, that was a successful year. So I need to just spend some time comparing last year and last year to this year, because I have been in so many phases of transition. I might have mentioned it in other videos, but COVID here was bad. I essentially didn't leave my house for all of 2022, and our zero COVID policies went on for 3.5 years. So in 2023, I was coming out of that incredibly long period of time. I mean, my college was 4 years and COVID was 3.5 years. Goodness. But I was coming out of that incredibly long period of time to a totally different world, with different priorities and different thoughts. And I was very different. I was very changed as well. So in 2023 was all just about having fun. And it was also the year that I started my PhD. So that was the year I got to go back to America. I got to reconnect with my family. All I wanted to do was just be free, just to be out of my house, to feel like I could breathe fresh air. And it was the start of my PhD as well. So it also felt like I was really starting a new chapter. And I feel like 2024 was a little bit of like the transitional period. I was still doing my PhD, I was planning the wedding, but I was starting something new with content creation here. And I just don't really know what 2025 is going to hold. I've been trying to book concert tickets because I just like having something on the calendar. That hasn't been working out. So I'm looking at my calendar and there's literally nothing. It's just blank, which can be a really exciting thing, or it can just feel a little bit confusing because I don't know what is ahead for me. I don't even know what classes I'm teaching next semester. All the students keep asking me, Megan, will you be our teacher next semester? And I have to tell them, sorry, I honestly don't know. Usually our school will make the schedule at the end of the semester, and even then, you can't trust it because it will change 40,000 times before the new semester actually starts. So when I think about 2025, I am thinking like, it's kind of just a big giant question mark. Okay, let's try this out, see how it is. Oh, okay, that tastes much better than I was expecting from the smell. It definitely tastes like kind of cinnamony and warm. I'm going to sip my tea and I'm going to look online for some year in review questions that we can answer after the Christmas party. I found one I really like. It's called the Year Compass, and it's just like a free resource online that you can download or print out. And I actually really like the questions and the reflections that it has you do. It says you should go through your calendar week by week and write down like the significant events to really get a genuine idea of what did you actually do last year, which things actually brought you joy, which things actually brought you stress. and then it has you divide up all of your different compartments of your life. And I like the things they chose. They chose like personal life, career or study, your friends, your community, your physical health, your mental health, habits, relaxation, hobbies, creativity. The wisest decision, the biggest lesson, the biggest risk, the biggest surprise, the biggest thing I completed. What are you proud of? Who influenced you the most? What were you not able to accomplish? What did you discover about yourself? What were the best moments that made you feel the most joy? How did you achieve your greatest accomplishments? Is there anything that you need to let go? Like, I really like this one. It's just called the Year Compass, available for free online. So I think I'm going to do something with my hair, and then it's about time to head to the Christmas lunch. So let's head on out. They just made an announcement that there's an emergency and we need to evacuate the building. Okay. I don't even know where I am. I don't know where this emergency exit brought me out at. I don't know what's going on though. They didn't say why. Okay, so in my hurry, I didn't grab my teacher card, so I couldn't get into school. So I had to explain everything that happened, and then I had to call one of my contacts, and they spoke to the security guard and they vouched for me.
Lights are twinkling, streets aglow, frosty rooftops, dusted snow. Carols echo through the town, steady love all around. Oh, I'm wrapped in Christmas cheer. Hearts are warm when winter's here. Laughter rings out loud and clear. Oh, I'm wrapped in Christmas cheer. Gifts beneath the sparkling tree, filled with joy and memories. Candles flicker soft and bright, bringing warmth to the night. Oh, I'm wrapped in Christmas cheer. Hearts are warm when winter's here. Laughter rings out loud.
Okay, the party was actually so fun. I'm on my bike right now. Let's go to a coffee shop and reflect on the past year. And this is a new coffee shop I haven't been to yet, so let's see if it's any good.
Gifts beneath the sparkling tree, filled with joy and memories. Candles flicker soft and bright, bringing warmth to the night. Oh, I'm wrapped in Christmas cheer. Hearts are warm when winter's here. Laughter rings out loud and clear. Oh, I'm wrapped in Christmas cheer. Oh, I'm wrapped in Christmas cheer. Hearts are warm when winter's here. Laughter rings out loud.
I don't know if I'm gonna make it home.
Wrapped in Christmas cheer.
Well, that was stressful. Honestly, my bike had enough battery, but the coffee shop said it was only 14 minutes away. Yeah, sure, 14 minutes away if there's no traffic. But the thing about Shenzhen is there's not traffic, there's no construction. But in Shenzhen, always construction. So I went this one way that the map showed me. I had to go another way, and then my battery was almost dead. If I had driven normally, I wouldn't have made it home, but I like turned off all the extra functions. I was going so slow. Every slight hill, I was like, okay, take off the gas. We're gonna coast down here. No braking, but we made it. Do you want to see my haul? The school was so nice, and they gave us a gift for the Christmas party. We had like a white elephant thing, and so my gift was a pair of sunglasses, which is great, except I wear glasses. So I know that the person who gave this is not a glasses wearer, because I can't see through these if I don't have my own glasses on. But they're really cute. I really like the design of them. And I was a little bit worried about my disposable camera gift, because one of my friends told me like, oh, I hope I don't get your gift. I don't want that. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe some people won't like this, but the French teacher came over to my table and she was like, are you the one that gave the disposable camera? And I was like, yes. She's like, I love it. I love it. It's the perfect gift. Thank you so much. And she was like, I was looking around the room trying to guess who would have done a disposable camera. And there are only like 3 or 4 female teachers. The rest are like either really young, we're talking 20, 23, like kind of fresh out of college, or they're like in their 40s and 50s. And she was like, I just thought it would be you. She was not wrong, but I'm really glad that she liked the package. It was a lovely, lovely dinner. We just had food, we talked, we chilled. Only one teacher is planning on leaving. Usually we're all like giving updates. We're like, hey, are you leaving? Are you leaving the country? Are you leaving the city? But the real gift that the school gave us, the thing inside the tote bag, was a rain jacket, which is going to be perfect for next semester during typhoon season, because it's just gonna rain every single day. Okay, yeah, not bad. So while we have sunshine, because it's fading fast, let's talk a little bit about my year in review. I have never used this year compass before, and I absolutely love it. I'm so glad I stumbled upon this. Like, I'll leave it in the description bar down below because I really, really liked this. I felt like it was a little bit different from a lot of the other ones I've done in the past. So while I was actually riding to the cafe, I was trying to think through the year, you know, what happened, what were some highlights, what were some low points. And then I took their advice to open up my calendar and go week by week. And surprisingly, I pretty much remembered all of the significant things of this year. And I feel like there are some years where I don't remember everything and I'm looking back over it and I'm like, oh yeah, I did that, and oh yeah, I can't believe this happened. I do feel like my memories were pretty accurate from this year, which I guess is a good thing. It asked me to write down what were 3 words to describe the year, and some of my words were things like, it was a hard year, it was a challenging year. It was a year of like rekindling, because I reconnected with a lot of friendships. I reconnected with travel again. It was like kind of finding my footing in this new life post-COVID. But also the other thing I wrote down was that it was a year where I was really seeking out significant or specific experiences. So I wouldn't just meet a friend for coffee. I would tell them that we should explore this new coffee shop, or instead of getting coffee, why don't we take a pottery class and like learn how to make pottery? Instead of just like going to Guangzhou to visit my friend, I was like, hey, why don't we meet in Hong Kong and we can watch a Shakespeare performance? I really did a lot of that this year because I've heard, and I believe this, that if you have more unique experiences, it actually slows time down and it helps you remember those things. And I feel like this year that definitely proved true. At the end of the year, I was able to look back and be like, okay, I remember we did this, we did this, we did this, and we did this. Warning about this. I think I want to learn how to balance that a little bit better. Yes, it's so great to like, let's go watch a play, go do pottery. But I don't want to focus too much on the experiences that I forget to just be a little bit more spontaneous, or remember that it's not about we did this. It's about just spending time together. Even this summer, I spent like 2 weeks with my best friend in New York. We did some very memorable things. We did really, really fun, really iconic things. But when I'm thinking back at the end of the year about my favorite memories with her in New York, it was the random things that we did. It was the time that we wanted to go get Korean barbecue and the place was closed, and so we just ended up wandering around and we chose a place just because the sign looked good. I don't really remember everything we talked about, but I just remember it was so fun and it was so light and it didn't have this like specific task attached to it. This was the day we saw this play. It was just being with my friend and having so much fun. So I want to bring that in a little bit more as well, but I love that I can look back over this year and be like, oh yeah, that month we did this and then we did this. I had a lot of unique experiences to remember this year. My answer to the question of like the biggest lesson I learned, the best thing I did, was the phrase executive decision. I said that phrase so many times this year, it's kind of crazy. That became my mantra in planning the wedding because there was just too much. There were too many decisions to make all the time just about the wedding, but then also about all of the guests and what we were going to do and the holiday that we were going to spend there. And also the PhD that I was working on, and also my work, and also making videos. There were just endless amounts of decisions to make, and I started to get really rapid fire with them. I've spent the last few years kind of paying more and more attention to my intuition, and I think that really paid off because, man, it got to a point that I was just spitting off answers. People would ask me a question, should we do this or do this? And I'm like, yeah, hey, we're gonna do that one. And I didn't regret it or like, oh, I should have chosen the other one. Once I made a decision, I felt confident about it. I wasted so much of my mental energy overthinking and going back and forth on the pros and cons of everything. The decisions that I love and that I feel really proud of are the ones that I made very quickly. And so I do want to bring that into the next year. I really liked the questions they had here, like, well, the biggest surprise of the year. And I realized I had so many surprises this year. We were planning a wedding that we weren't sure was going to actually happen because of people's visas. So everyone getting their visas, huge surprise. My PhD was just consistent surprises. I never knew what was coming every time I logged on to a new meeting. I got to have my dream wedding venue, which I did not expect at all. One of my friends contacted me right before the wedding and was like, hey, do you have a videographer? And I was like, no, I don't, and I kind of regret it. And she was like, I got you. Because her and her husband are wedding photographers and videographers. Amazing. Also, my husband changed his job quite quickly and quite suddenly. That was another huge surprise. There were so many big shifts this year. And so when I look back at the year and I'm like, wow, I just looked back on the year and I was like really stressed. There was a lot going on. Yeah, I can see why. There was a lot going on. And the biggest things you completed, I think, were starting content creation, making it through a whole nother year of my PhD, and pulling off that wedding. Those were really the three focuses. At the beginning of the year, I knew those were going to be my focuses, and they really ran true. Like, those were the three common threads that ran throughout this entire year. And one of the questions was, what are you most proud of? And I think I'm most proud of sticking to it and sticking to my goals. I feel like I spent the last 10 years learning about setting goals and learning about discipline and learning about all of these things. And now it's the time that when I go online and I watch a video about like how to set goals or New Year's goals, I'm like, oh yeah, I know all of this. I practice all this. I know what works for me. Consistency has always been kind of a weak point for me. And that was really my one like secret. That's actually another question I really like is, what is your secret wish for the coming year? And I feel like I didn't verbalize it like that, but that kind of was my secret wish for the coming year. I just hope I can stick to my goals and like I won't let myself down by the end of the year. And I absolutely don't think I did that. I also thought it was really interesting in this year compass. They ask you to write down like everything that happened, the significant moments. And then they ask you to write down the best moments as well. And it's really interesting to compare the two. Best moments are either really small things. My number one streamed album this year, streamed song, streamed artist, everything was Chappell Roan. I discovered Femininomenon in 2023 and I became obsessed with it at the end of the year, and that obsession has not waned at all. Best part of most of my days were just getting to take a shower at night and screaming the lyrics to those songs. Amazing, amazing. That made it on the list of like best moments. There were a lot of other really small moments of just like having dinner with my husband or just like having long conversations online with my friends. But every other moment is basically me exploring something new, being somewhere new, like every day in Hong Kong, days in New York, and then the days where things just went really smoothly and I was able to be in flow. That I went to work and everything flowed at work and I felt like I was in my element when I was teaching and the class just went really well. Or when I was lesson planning and I just got into that flow state and I had all these creative ideas. Or when I was writing for my PhD and I was in flow state and I had all of these ideas. Or when I was doing content creation and I was just planning out different ideas and filming videos and editing them. And I really like being able to look at my best moments and find those themes to really appreciate and like romanticize those small everyday habits and experiences to do more to be in your flow state. I have now recognized the happiest days are when I'm really in my flow state. Like yesterday, I kept being in flow state and that was such a good, enjoyable day. And also exploring and being in new places. Every single day I've been in Hong Kong this year has just filled me with so much joy. Exploring new coffee shops in the city, it gives me so much joy. Being in New York, just being in big cities, walking around, seeing something new. I love that so much. And so now I feel like I can look at all of my best moments of the year, go, okay, there are 3 things I really, really enjoy. That's the formula. I can just do more of that in the next year. It also asked like, what did you do to achieve your greatest accomplishments of the year? And I really feel like time batching helped me so much because it helped me get more and more into my flow states instead of multitasking. The days when I'm multitasking, I feel really frustrated. When I'm able to just focus on one day as a theme, so like Monday is for PhD writing, Tuesday is for lesson planning. I really thrive that way. And also taking things one step at a time. I tend to get really overwhelmed with all that there is to do, but remembering that it's one step at a time really, really helps. This year has really been a very transitional year. After COVID, I just wanted to have fun. So 2023 was just having fun. 2024 was like, okay, we're coming down from the high. What does life really look like? And what does the future look like? Because for 3.5 years, I wasn't able to imagine a future. I wasn't able to plan for a future. Then once I was released, I just wanted to have fun. And so again, there were no thoughts. I was just dancing through life for the entire year. And now that the dust has settled, this year was basically like, okay, where do we go from here? What do I want my life to look like? Suddenly I opened my eyes and the world was different and I was different, and I'm now in my 30s, and where do we go from here? Where do I want to live? Whether that's in a different city or in a different part of the city, you know, where do I see my career going? Where do I see my passions going and see my hobbies going? My PhD is continuing. What do I plan to do with that once it's finished? How do I plan to accomplish that? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. What's the type of life that I want to be living? And at the end of the year, I can look back and see that 2024 was all about that. But I wish I had set that intention at the beginning of the year, because I don't think I was actively considering what I wanted my life to be like. I was just like, we're going full speed ahead. We've got this going on. We've got this going on. We've got this going on. And I think for 2025, now that I realize what 2024 was, I think for the next year, I do want to focus on that more. What do I want out of life? What do I want to do with my PhD? Where do I want to live? What do I want my friendships to be like? What do I want my relationship to be like? My relationship with my partner? What do I want my relationship with my students to be like? My relationship with my job? What do I want to be doing in this one precious life that I've been given? What do I want to spend my days doing? I think that's what I'm going to take in for the next year. At least one of the things that I will be taking in for the next year. But the sun is definitely setting now. It's about to get dark. I think I'm going to leave off the vlog here. The rest of the night, I am just going to clean up. I wanna feel like a fresh reset. To be honest, I have a lot of editing to do. I'll do some editing and I'll probably respond to more messages because they keep coming in. But tomorrow, it's back to work. We had a crazy day. Oh, also the alarm, I still don't know what that was about. Was that a drill? I don't know. The place is still standing. Everything looks okay. I guess we'll find out when they tell us. I assume it was probably a drill, but who knows? But thank you for coming along with me today. We had our Christmas party. We almost ran out of electricity driving around the city. We reflected on the new year. We had an emergency evacuation. There truly was a lot going on, but thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you next time.